I am Marwan Cameron, and this is the Conduit. How is everybody doing? It is Wednesday, March 10, 2021. Here again with another podcast. I know that I said that we had a scheduled guest tonight, but she had to reschedule. So I wanted to kind of go over some things that when I was testing some of this, my new setup, the audio didn't record. And it's really important that folks know about this. So I'm going to go ahead and go over it so that you have the information either for yourself or your family. Also, if everything works out, I'm going to set up a YouTube video, and it will be by invite. And everyone who comes to that YouTube podcast may be able to gain access to $1,000. So I will give you details to that. And it's not just, 10 people or 20 people, like literally everyone that comes to YouTube can get up to $100 if they come into that YouTube video. I will show you how to get access to that money, and I will let you know when that is going to happen. But it is hump day, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully you are doing well. Thank you there, Mr. Dent. The lights are pretty bright, so we've got some new lighting in the studio. I decided I would sit on the beach tonight and have a conversation. I'm kind of in feeling like I'm in a beach. Matter of fact, I should be in a lounge chair instead of what I'm in now. But, it is what it is. I got to just try to, you can go to the beach or bring the beach to you. So I'm bringing the beach to me tonight because that's how I'm feeling. But, tonight I wanted to talk about scholarships and money. Because money is tremendously important, especially during this time. We need to, money makes the world go around, of course. So it is a necessity. And so I want to make sure that you have access, especially for those of you that are considering college, either for your children or for yourself, especially as, the country begins to open up. We know how many jobs have been destroyed, and so many folks are going to need to reinvent themselves and retrain into a new profession. And so with that, as much access as possible, I think will be helpful. So I'm going to go over to that tonight so you have all of that information, and hopefully that will empower you. And so some of you may have seen the video that I put up a few days ago. I actually went live at 2 a.m. because I figured not too many people would be up. And to my surprise, my aunt's on the East Coast, so she ended up liking the video because she's going to work at 6 a.m. When I finished. I think I finished around 6 or sometime in there. It's 3 o'clock my time. It's like 6 o'clock her time. So she liked the video. It's like, yeah, I'm up here pretty late, but I figured it was a safe space for me to be in a live environment and go ahead and try to make sure everything was working right. And of course it wasn't, not quite, so there was no audio, but it is really important for you to catch what I was saying. So I'm going to go into it now. And what this is My Scholly. Okay. My Scholly is a website that was created by a black guy. And he actually was on Shark Tank. So he pitched it on Shark Tank. And, I think they bought into it. And, it kind of took off. And this is an actual website that I use, that I was using at the college. So there are several of my students received scholarships from this. So it does work. And there is a misnomer out there that says, they say there's millions of dollars of scholarships out there, but, I don't know anyone who ever received a scholarship, and it's just, it's too hard to apply for them. And those things are just not true. So, my recommendation to you is to jump in there and apply, because it is real. I've had probably more than 20 students, well, probably way more than 20, that have received scholarships through my Scholly. And Rob, you weren't on the other day, but if you received a scholarship from my Scholly, from being in the class, we let people know how many thousands of dollars you ended up getting through my Scholly when you were a college student at OC. That's really important for people to, share their testimonies, that it does indeed work and you can gain from it. And while he's in there in the chat, what you will see here is, this is the My Scholly website. Let me go back to that. This is the My Scholly website, right? Very easy for you to do. Kind of let you know how My Scholly works. You'll see the login up in the upper right-hand corner, or sign up. Okay, and so I kind of went through the steps so that you can see. Now I already had an account, so I just went ahead and I logged in. So, excuse me if you see my email there, because you will. So I'm going through all this stuff here. I really should probably speed up this little video so that it'll go a little bit faster. But as I'm scrolling down here, you can see where it's literally, 1, 2, 3. You can do this. Get yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, whatever your favorite beverage is. If this takes you more than an hour, then you're just really kind of taking your time on it. But it really doesn't take long to set up. It's pretty easy. In this video, which is already on YouTube and Facebook, you can watch. It's already posted. I didn't want to take it down just in case someone looked at it and was like, oh, okay, I can see what this is. I don't really need the audio to kind of follow along. But I did want to put the audio with it because it is really important. But as you can see, I'm just kind of scrolling around showing you what my Scholly is. And now I'm going to click in to log in. And I'm going to go ahead and put my credentials in there, right? Just my email and password, which I had previously set up, just like you're signing up for a Gmail account or anything else. Just go ahead and type your information in there and your password. And once you do that, it will go ahead and take you in. And what you'll see is this will show saved scholarships and applied scholarships. This will show some scholarships that are coming up here or getting ready to. You'll see how you've got the 5 there and $1,000 December scholarship. It'll show you the due date, right? It's due December 20th in 2021. This is a $1,000 scholarship. So I'm going to show you how to get access to all this information. Like I said, I think you will find it very helpful. And as you're going back to school, if you're applying for federal aid, if you're applicable, that it applies to you either at your associate level or whatnot. If you're going toward a graduate degree, or if you have already received a degree, this is a good way to supplement your to pay for your education. If you're going for vocational, as you can see, I'm going over in settings and I'm just clicking on profile. And I'm just showing you that, right? I put a fake birthday in there. I was not born in 1995. It sounds good. And I changed this. And so the reason why I needed to change this is I so believed in this particular website that I would pay for it and then give some of the students my login so they would have access to those that weren't able to pay for it. So there's a free version and there's a pay version. I believe the pay version is like $3 a month. But again, the free version works just fine as far as, giving you access. Here, I'm putting in the options here. I'm currently in a graduate student, high school sophomore. And so, again, it's not too early. So you saw that, right? High school, junior, senior, sophomore. Start looking at these things. If you're a parent, you may say, hey, you know what? Kids, you need to go in there and find your own scholarships. But if you are helping them pay for it, you may go in there and start kind of filling that out to kind of save yourself a little bit of money. So I'm putting in there seeking a bachelor's degree. You can put your degree of study or what you're going to go for vocationally. You can see the GPA that you have earned either at the high school or the college level, depending on what you are what you're trying to achieve. And then you can also, and I do recommend, I'm searching for need-based scholarships. And so there are two different scholarships. There's need-based and there's merit-based. Need-based is saying, hey, I have a financial need. I need financial help in order to attend a college or university. Merit-based is saying, hey, I have earned high grades. I've done this, that, and the other. And so based on my merit, I should get this scholarship. So there are two different types, right? Merit and need-based. And so you should click both of those. I would encourage you to do that. And then there's like 4 boxes here. You've got academics, extracurricular, financial, and then personal. We're going to click into each one. First is academic. And like I said, this thing is super easy to complete. It's just check boxes, right? Here's your test scores. If you have taken ACT or your GED or your MCAT or your SAT, you can go ahead and click the radio button there. Again, you typically, in many cases, don't need any of these things in order to attend college, right? Here talks about your courses, the second one over. The third one is there's a list of certain schools that are listed there. You can click that if that is applicable to you. And again, 206 high schools. We know there are thousands of high schools in the country, so your high school is probably not listed there. Don't worry about that. And you'll see that I didn't click anything there, so don't worry. And I'll let myself catch up. And then we're going to come back to this page here, and you can see that already generated $3.4 million in scholarships. I'm going to go back into categories and go into extracurricular. And click next. And now I'm just going to click onto each of these. So artistic ability, okay? So I checked that I was an artist, right? And artist could be anything. You can be drawing. There's all kinds of things you can do. Artistry is pretty broad. So I would definitely check that one. Designed an innovative endeavor. So you may have done something like that. One good way to do that is maybe if you're volunteering or working with a nonprofit, you come and you say, hey, I have a really great idea. You may be able to come there and kind of organize and launch that idea, right? Or maybe you go to them and you say, hey, do you have an idea? You need some help trying to do something. And then you can be the point person for that. And then that gives you that the ability to check that box there. And that looks really good on resumes and everything else. Okay. And I will tell you, G2 is one of those such places that you can take advantage of something like that, right? We're always looking for folks to do unique projects with us that can help our mission and help people in the community. As you can see here, you have volunteer, community service. I designed a project that makes a difference in the lives of others. Again, volunteering or nonprofit is a great place to do that. Again, if you're looking for a space like that, G2 is a good place to do it. Participated in 50 hours or more of community service. Okay, so if you haven't done that, 50 hours isn't a whole lot, a couple weekends, for about a month and a half, and you're done, right? And you'll see as I scroll down here, minimum 24 hours of customer service, community service. Apologies for that. So again, 24 hours, 50 hours, right? So you can check both because you're giving of your time. And what you want to do with My Scholly, what's so great about this particular website is you get to check multiple things. This is a database to me that brings together just a tremendous amount of different opportunities for scholarships. And so you can click more than one, which is what I'm showing you here. So please do that. Student tutor, even if you have not been a tutor in an official capacity, like through your high school or through your college, I would tell you to go ahead and check that. Like maybe you've been helping your friends and that was kind of set up, a few times a week after school that you've been doing that and helping your fellow students doing that. I would check that box, right? Volunteers, if you volunteered, do you check that? And so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of reading these, making sure I don't miss anything that I could possibly check because I want to check everything. And that's why I'm circling that. Now I'm going to my interest. There are 35 interests there. So we did our volunteer. Now we're doing our interest. Again, if any of these interests are there for you, please check it. So active in promoting secularism, which is interesting. Advocate of organ donation, okay. Affinity for health of Hispanic communities. A chess player, right? I am a chess player, not a great one. You know, funny story, going through that. When I first moved to Washington State, I was in the 3rd grade. So I was 2 days late from school starting. And so I went to Broadview Thompson in Seattle, and it was kind of an open concept school. And so this school didn't have any walls. So this was like way back. This was early concept of the kind of open, wall format, And one of the things that we did there is we were taught how to play chess. So I learned how to play chess in the 3rd grade. So it was really, really pretty interesting school. My teacher's name was Mr. Breinstein, really smart guy. And they had, regular courses, they had special ed courses, and then they had what they called at that time is gifted courses. They may call it something else now, but that's what that was. So I ended up being in the gifted courses. My father didn't want me to skip a grade because he wanted to make sure that emotionally I was able to mature with my age group. So he didn't want us to be ahead in grades. He just put us in a more advanced classroom. So I'm appreciative of that. And so, again, here I'm just checking the different things here. Studying a foreign language, maybe you're doing that. And then remember, there's also apps that you can study for. What is that? Duolingo is an app that you can use to study a foreign language. So this doesn't have to be a formal. Wants to own an online business. We know that entrepreneurship is a great way to supplement your income, increase revenue streams, and, hopefully give you some financial freedom if you do not want to work for others. And here are some of the different organizations. If you've been a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, a leader of a club, okay, there's different memberships. Please check all of those boxes and look through. Like I say, we're just sitting here having a cup of tea, enjoying ourselves, and we're literally just scrolling through and clicking things that apply to us. And once we've done all this, it's going to generate all the grants and scholarships for us. So you don't have to go through and, try to read each one and, figure out what do I type, how do I search. Literally, you just kind of go through and just check it out. So really easy to do. Like I said, we'll go through this for about an hour. You can see I'm already 50% done if you're looking at the little completion line down there. Bowling in the sanctioned United States Bowling Congress League. I mean, they have some really wild stuff, right? Are you a lacrosse player? Are you a marksman? Do you have a physical disability? Are you a skier? Have you played golf? Did you play softball in high school? Are you a swimmer, right? I mean, there are grants or scholarships for literally everything. So please check the box. If you've done all those things, check the box for everything. So now that we're done with our extracurriculars, you can see our millions changed. Now it's 3.4 million. It was 3.3 before. We're going to go back into categories here in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to go, we did our academic, we did our extracurricular. Now we'll go down to our financial. So we're going to go and click on that, say next. There are only 20 items here in the financial. We'll just scroll through and see if any of those were applicable. I was an applicant. Applicant must be on free or reduced lunch. So if your kids are on that right now, do that. Homeless or previously homeless, I was that. So I checked that. Low-income household, so you may check that. If you've ever lived in government housing, you can check that. If you're paying out-of-state tuition because you're going to go to another college out of state, go ahead and check that. My niece just got her award letter recently to Morgan State. Not my niece, my little cousin. She's so much younger. I always forget kind of the hierarchy. It's my dad's sister's daughter, so it could be kind of confusing. But shout out to Skylar. And congratulations to your acceptance to an HBCU, Morgan State. And now I've done that one. I'm going to go back into settings one last time. And we've done academics. We did extracurricular. We did financial. And now we need to go ahead and do the personal. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. All right. And you see these ones are a little bit longer. You got employment, family circumstance, medical and physical, military affiliation, and religion. So again, take your time. Click through this one. This is the longest one here. But again, you are literally just clicking the buttons that apply to you or your child. So artist, was your child an athlete? Were you an athlete? Were you an Army veteran? Again, you see chess player. Were you a Burger King employee? Yep, there's scholarships for that. Were you a child of a migrant worker? Are you a child of a first responder? A police officer, Navy, Marine, Coast Guard. All of these things are here, so please do click on them. And as you can see, it's not giving you a choice. It's allowing you to select all that apply to you. So important, and I cannot stress that. The more that is true, that you're able to click on, the more grants and scholarships that are going to pop up for you. So please, please do that. Dependent of a veteran, we're in a military town, so maybe a lot of people. If you're employed, go ahead and click that. Okay. If you're employed in an Asian restaurant, okay, like I said, very, very niche. Are you a fantasy writer? Okay. Have you been a golf caddy? I don't know what a Hy-Vee employee is. I guess that's some kind of organization. Are you an ice skater? Are you an immediate family member of a chief petty officer in the United States Navy? Probably several of you would be able to check that box. So check them all. Check them all. All right. Are you an independent contractor or a small business owner? I could check that one. Are you a lacrosse player? Are you a marketer? So look, we're literally just scrolling down. Are you a musician? Do you own a lawn care business or ran one in the past? Actually, I have. Are you a parent? There's scholarships for parents. Click it, please, for sure. Are you a part-time employee? Okay. Do you plays the brass instrument? I don't think I can check that one, but I did play the trumpet for a little bit. I wanted to play the drums, but we grew up pretty poor. So my older brother played the trumpet, and he had a trumpet, so that's what I got to play if I wanted to play an instrument. Are you a single father? Again, you don't see too many scholarships for men in that type of category, but it is there. So single father, single mother, single parent, single mother with enrolled in undergraduate program. Are you unemployed? So a lot of different things for you to check there. Works at least 12 hours per week. Again. Okay. And then now we're here in religion. So are you an atheist? Are you Baptist? Are you Christian? Are you agnostic? Literally, again, pretty much your category should be there. And I don't know, maybe if you're exploring, you might go ahead and click multiples. If you're trying to figure out how you identify religiously, you could do that. And then once you read on the particular scholarship, they will let you know what those requirements are, for sure. For those of you that are just tuning in, you are watching the latest episode of the Conduit broadcast. Tonight, we are going over the website MyScholarly. This is a scholarship database that is super easy to use. It is free. Several of my students have used this in the past and have made thousands of dollars from this, and many of them were very easy. And you will see on some of those, it's literally shoot a 60-second video on your phone and send it in and just kind of fill out the name, address, whatnot. Right? Super easy. So, please take advantage of this. Here you see barrier in pursuing further education. If you have kids, if there's financial challenges, COVID would be a barrier, right? If you're bilingual, if you have bipolar disorder, right? Again, there are so many different things that you are able to click on. So please take advantage of that. Business administration, cared for an adult relative. Maybe you've done that. Car accident injury, cancer survivor. So again, this is a great place to easily gain access to a lot of different scholarships. And as we get to the list here, we've got a few more to click through. You'll get to see how nice this is. I will fast forward a little bit because I think we kind of get it here. I'm just going to go just a touch there. And we're still scrolling down on this one because this one had maybe like 200 or so different options. If you have PSD, if you're a mother, right? Go ahead and check all the things that apply to you. If you're a U.S. citizen, are you an adopted child? I am, right? And so that's your family circumstance. 261 options there. From the medical and mental health, right? If there's anything that's applicable to you, autism, diabetic, disabled, epilepsy, Down syndrome, hearing impaired. They have a mental illness. They have so many things here. Lupus patient, paralyzed, a physical disability, just a general pituitary condition. Go ahead and click that. And let that go ahead and generate. And just scroll down. Again, cup of tea, cup of coffee, nice hot beverage. It's perfect, okay? So now that we have all of that, we're going to come back in here now that we're done. Okay, whoops. Let me go back here. As it is almost finished. And now we've gone through all 4 quadrants that you'll see. So we're done with all the work. It's actually done. We've got $3.4 million in scholarships. Didn't really change that. Okay. You'll see our list here. But before we look at that list, I just want to make sure that we go back in. I just want to show you that we did everything. We've set it up, right? And we are literally, how many minutes into this podcast? 26 minutes. Okay. So I'm just going back through, taking a look at everything. You can see that I did everything. There's nothing else for me to do. You can go in here and edit your email address or your password. You could turn on your notifications. Now here, I do recommend doing this. So here, general contact emails from Scholarly. That's up to you if you want those. But you can indicate when a scholarship deadline that you want is saved. It will give you an alert. I like to set it for 14 days because it gives you 2 weeks to apply for it. You don't know what's going on in your life when that scholarship deadline is approaching. So it might be a busy time in your life. You might have other things going on. So if you only give yourself about 5 days to do it, you may not have enough time to do that, right? So do consider that. I think 14 days is great, especially because multiple scholarships are probably going to come available in that time period, and you're going to want to apply for one or more, and you're going to need time to do that with everything else you're doing. So give yourself that opportunity to have enough time to do it. Also, you can also indicate when you have new matches, so you can take advantage of that there. And then you can also do it when a scholarship that you have saved is updated. So maybe they will put new information in there. Maybe they'll let you know that there's more money that's going to be awarded in that scholarship, or the scholarship was canceled. Whatever it is, you can go ahead and set yourself for that alert, right? And that will alert you by email. And then below you will see you can also have it set by mobile phone. Most of us have smartphones, and so you may want to have it sent to you that way, right? So you never miss out on when you're going to get the scholarship coming up. So go ahead and turn those on and off, and you can always just log in, go into your settings, and turn this on and off as it works for you, okay? But that way you don't miss out on it, because you'll kick yourself if you miss that opportunity. You'll be really mad. So as you can see, all 4 of these are done, right? We've got all of our scholarships now. You can see here the green will let us know this is your Scholarly score, right? That's a 5. It tells you what the scholarship is. So the first one here, we're just kind of scrolling down. But $1,000 December scholarship, this scholarship is due on December 20th. The amount is $1,000. You can put a heart if you click it, and that will give you that reminder for the day that you set. So if that's 14 days before, you can do that. On the right-hand side, I'm just sorting by the lowest amount first. The lowest amount could be typically your lower barrier scholarships, ones that won't take so much for you to apply for. Your highest amount first. You know, there might be, you got to write an essay. There may be more hoops that you have to jump through, but they're probably going to be your higher dollar amount. So you might want to go ahead and take a look at those so you can see. You can look at need-based, right? And that's, hey, I need this. I wouldn't be able to go to college, or it'd be really difficult if I didn't have this money. And then you can do it by deadline. So I like the deadline. That's the one that I recommend. Just because, as I said, if you set it at 14 days, then, you'll get a list. You'll get an alert that says, hey, these scholarships are now coming due. So I now have 14 days to start working on it, right? So I don't think I think that's a good way to do that. So I'll let myself catch up here. As when you record something more than once, you never say the same things over. So it definitely changes. I told a really long story about having a brain tumor, and while this podcast was going, in the middle of going through this. So I could be telling that story right now for all I know, because the audio unfortunately was lost. But luckily the video wasn't. But I would have done it over, because I think it's that important for people to have access to this. And so many people just have no idea, right? Or if in general terms they know about grants and scholarships, they're not, again, as I said before, they don't think it's really for them. They don't know anyone that received or won a scholarship or earned it based on the effort that they put into it. So there was so much competition. And the truth is, a lot of these scholarships no one applies to. And what they end up doing is there are tons of stories where, let's say there was a scholarship that was set for, African-American women, and no African-American women applied for the grant. So someone else outside of that demographic applied, and they got it because they had no applicants apply for it, right? I mean, that's happened. So, again, apply for these scholarships if you if they match what it is that you're trying to do, right? It truly is in your best interest. Truly is in your best interest. I cannot stress that enough. All right, so I definitely am telling a long story there, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here, okay? Because that thing is, I can be quite loquacious when I want to be. All right, so as you can see, I'm going off here a little bit. I don't know what story I was telling, but I am talking my butt off about something. So I'm probably just stressing the importance. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through that. Get back into the video. Okay. All right, so let me get back right here. And let me go ahead and pause. Okay. So what I'm doing here is, what I did is, you see it's based on the Scholarly score up here in the right-hand corner. And you'll see this is a rent hop apartment search. Tell Me I'm Pretty scholarship, Tell Me I'm Pretty scholarship. I mean, again, really low barrier scholarships here. Okay. College Jumpstart scholarship program. And like I said, I'm going up here and I'm going to change this, and I'm going to change it to deadline. And what's really nice about this and why I like this more is this lets you know, right? Here's your Commonwealth Credit Union scholarship. Okay. This is probably Virginia, so this probably won't be applicable to us, even though it was listed in there. But you're going to just click on view and you're going to go ahead and read it, right? This one says, Commonwealth Credit Union is a cooperative, not-for-profit fiscal institution owned and operated by its members exclusively to meet their financial needs. Currently, 90,000 people from across Kentucky and beyond are Commonwealth Credit Union members. Take some time to click through our website and check out our great products, services, and such. So we can click on that, and it's going to navigate you away from Scholly. Okay, you may have to allow pop-ups, which is what I had to do on my computer. And then please take note in the upper corner here, it opened in a new tab. So you can go and click back on My Scholly. That is the tab here, okay? A lot of folks, they'll click on a window and it'll open it up and they'll get lost, right? So that's not what that does. You can get back to My Scholly right where you were by clicking this left tab. Now down here, this shows the 2021 scholarships. Okay, so view the application. And so this is what you're going to do. Once it's generated for you, all you got to do is just click in there and read the requirements. What do you need to do? Okay, it says this one's a $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to 4 graduating high school seniors. All submissions must be uploaded by 5 p.m. March 31st, 2021. Submissions that are incomplete or not in accordance with the directions or not in the Commonwealth Credit Union possession by the above-mentioned date will not be eligible. And then here, this is what you do. Upload an unlisted video of yourself, 5 minutes long maximum, to YouTube where you address the following. 1, how were you bettering lives in your community? 2, how can CCU better lives of college students? 3, how will your education help to better lives in the future? 4, what are you looking for from your banking experience? And then 5 is creativity and passion. So they're telling you you have to do 5 things, right? But they also want you to do it in 5 minutes or less. In a video, you've got your video phone, you're talking for less than 60 seconds answering those 5 questions. That's it. That's it. Why would you not do this? Why would you not do this? Now, again, we're not in Kentucky, and so you're probably not a Commonwealth Credit Union membership holder, so this one won't be applicable to us, but it's still a good example of what you need to do, okay? And then it shows you the deadline. You'll have your eligibility, and then you'll have your selection criteria, which is just kind of restating it, right? And so here, how are you bettering the lives in your community? Hey, I went down and I volunteered with G2, and I helped pass out flyers. I helped with the fundraiser. I helped feed food insecure people. I made phone calls. Bam. I've already talked for 15 seconds. You're already done with question number 1, right? I mean, it's that fast. It's that easy, right? How can CCU better the lives of college students? If we were applying for this, maybe they can partner with a nonprofit like Gather Together to Grow Together and maybe donate food or come out and support, maybe open up, free accounts for low-income people or college students, yada, yada, yada. Done. 2 of the 5 are already answered. Now, it's a good idea to go ahead and look at your national scholarships because the first one was for Kentucky, so national would be more open to everyone. So again, even though that wasn't in the particular list that we clicked on, this is giving you access to even more. And if you look, I recorded this 2 days ago. Those were closing 2 days ago, right? So now here's a couple more scholarships. The Future Sound Scholarship, $250. $250 closing today, right? So you can click on that and see what the requirements are. And this one wanted you to sign up for iGrad. Now, I would recommend before you sign up for something, because you have now navigated away from My Scholly, I might do some research before I click on these buttons and agree to this information, right? Do be careful who you give access to your stuff. That is important. So I know we don't read our terms of service, but if you're skeptical, then, be wary. And you can Google and find out what people have had to say about it. Now, if this was a scholarship that you like, you could put a heart on it so that you can have a reminder later. If you don't, you can dismiss it. You'll never have to look at it again, right? So you'll see now you have one scholarship saved. We're going to go down to the next one. Religious Liberty Essay Scholarship Contest, $2,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. The annual Religious Liberty Essay Scholarship Contest engages high school students in church-state issues by directing them to express their point of view on religious liberty topics. This is a pretty interesting one, right? Especially if you're following politics right now. There's a lot going on, and more youth are getting involved. So this is an essay contest. You can play the video, see what you need to do there, kind of read the instructions. It's open to high school juniors and seniors. The grand prize includes a $2,000 scholarship. The question and the details for the 2021 contest are below, and the submission date is March 26, 2021. So definitely, Layla has several more years before she gets here. But when she starts entering into her sophomore and junior year, this is something that we will do together. Okay. And what you see here is here's the topic. The United States has always been a religiously diverse nation. Over time, our elected leaders have begun to reflect this religious diversity. For example, Congress currently has members who are Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Jewish, and from no religious tradition. Sometimes clergy and other religious leaders want to run for public office. Does a religious leader, such as a minister, rabbi, imam, priest, or any other clergy in a religious tradition, have the right to run for public office? What, if any, steps should a religious leader running for public office take to acknowledge the bedrock American principle of the separation of church and state? So that's what you're answering there, right? And it needs to be 800 to 1,200 words, and it's due March 26. One-page paper is typically 750 words. So they're literally saying, hey, you know what? About a page and a half, that's all that's required for this. And if you have some passion for this, and we won't talk about, whether it's right for your parents to write your essays for you. I do know of parents who have done that or, at least helped their kids to write these essays. Then, do what you got to do. Or you go to the writing center at your high school or your college. Maybe you go to your imam or your priest or your minister and have conversations and have discussions, and that can help you to write your essay, okay? And then here, if you wanted to dismiss it, you can say not interested, and it disappears. You don't see it anymore, okay? Again, very helpful, very easy. We've already looked at two scholarships. Here's one, $2,000 no essay college scholarship. $2,000 no essay. The $2,000 no essay scholarship is an easy scholarship with no essay required! The scholarship can be used to cover tuition, housing, books, or any educational related expenses. I might need some transportation, The monthly winner will be determined by random drawing and be contacted directly and announced in, it looks like, Nietzsche's newsletter and on the scholarship winners page. I mean, it's random. It's $2,000. Probably just filling out some information, and there you go. So we got to check this one out. There's no essay. And we get here. Here's their website. So we're just going to put in the information here. Name, birth date, email. They have some other information for you. Scholarships, grad school search, college rankings. So all kinds of good things. This scholarship is due March 31st. You put in your email, you create a password, you tell them if you're in high school, college, or neither, and then you continue. Now, I didn't fill this out because I'm not applying for this right now, but you would need to do that. And you know how these things are when you fill them out. They're going to make you put something in there valid to make you go to the next screen. So I would definitely save that one. And once we have saved that, we can go back to our scholarships, hitting our back arrow. And now you can see up here that there are 2 saved scholarships right up here. And then to the right, we'll also have applied. So once you've applied, it'll also do that. So it's another good place for you to keep track of how many scholarships you've applied. If you love poetry, just poetry contests, Survey Junkie, brand influencer, we all buy stuff. $1,000, got to check this one out. They've partnered with Survey Junkie to create an exclusive scholarship for all students who want to change the products of tomorrow today. Survey Junkie helps you earn rewards and get paid for taking surveys on products and services that are matched to your interest. By sharing your opinions, you'll be able to earn rewards that you can cash out via PayPal or gift cards. Let's check it out. And take a sip of our tea. All right. So here we are. It tells you to sign up. Your deadline is March 31st. The winners are announced in May. Any education level, great. Do you love sharing your opinions on products and services that are meaningful to you? We've partnered with Survey Junkie to create this exclusive scholarship for all students who want to change the products of tomorrow today. Okay, read that earlier. To apply, earn 500 points and redeem those points for eligible rewards. So sounds to me, we buy things all the time, and you are just writing a survey on there, right? And once you get to 500 points, then you get entered into the drawing. So probably not a lot of work for you to do. Probably pretty easy for you to get done. Even if you started now being March 10th, you got 21 days, right? So I would say that it's $1,000 that you can use. Like I said, you got the poetry contest, Petable Pet Lovers Scholarship, really? Okay. The Hustle 2021 scholarship with a $sign must be $2,000, I'm thinking. High school scholarships, Eric Dalius grant, the Pulsar Perseverance scholarship. This is a $1,000 scholarship. It's available to high school and college students. You must read the book, Pulsar Perseverance, which is about 3 Black doctors on their journey to success, and submit a 250-word essay on how you are currently making a difference in your community and why you believe you have the pulse, hashtag Pulse of Perseverance. You also must submit a 60-second video on why you possess the hashtag and what the scholarship will mean to you. Again, one page is 750 words, people. 250 words is like a one paragraph. And a 60-second video on why you should get this. Why would you not do this? It's $1,000. This can be one of the easiest $1,000 you've ever made. Good for high school and college students. Take your smartphone, record the video, get a friend's smartphone, get your parents' phone, whatever you got to do, record your video, write your paragraph, and submit it. It's done. So just scrolling down and looking at these, some more scholarships here. Korean Spirit and Cultural Essay Contest. College Jumpstart Scholarship Program. That's one I'd probably click on, $1,000 there. Rent Hop Apartment Scholarship, $2,000. And you're just scrolling through, right? And again, we have 4 saved now. There's $3.4 million in scholarships that may be applicable to us. PB&J scholarship, that is peanut butter and jelly. What moves you scholarship, so probably something about what you're passionate about. Another scholarship, poetry contest. Are you a vegetarian? A video scholarship for vegetarians, $200. I mean, if you're a vegetarian, you probably are living that lifestyle for a reason. Probably really easy for you to articulate that. Just saying. And I think I did click into this one. So create and submit a video related to what you want to tell others about vegetarianism or veganism. Really? Again, if this is you, you would be able to talk about this pretty easily, right? $200 scholarship. It's due in July. 4th of July, if that's something that you celebrate, a lot of meat is traditionally served at 4th of July barbecues. If you are a vegan or practicing veganism, and you're going to have some thoughts on that. And maybe you provide some alternatives for folks, just some ideas there. This is the one, Zombie Apocalypse Scholarship. There are scholarships for everything. And this isn't like $100. This is $2,000. Okay? $2,000 scholarship for Zombie Apocalypse Scholarship. Again, please take advantage of these things. Okay? And we are going to click into this one. Let me go ahead and pause before we do, though, because I did want you to see that. I don't want to go too far. All right. So let's go ahead and pause here so I can read this. All right. Did binge rewatching The Walking Dead, which just came back on 2 weeks ago, get you thinking about what you'd do if the streets were filled with flesh-eating zombies? Maybe you envision your own post-apocalyptic world overrun with the living dead, forcing you to come up with a zombie survival plan and quick. Hone your survival tactics. Imagine what your school or college campus might be like in a zombie apocalypse. Our Zombie Apocalypse Scholarship Committee wants to know your plan to avoid the zombies, where you'll hide, and the top 5 things you'd bring with you to stay alive. We're giving one successful survivor $2,000 toward his or her college education. Do you think you have what it takes to make it out? To me, this scholarship isn't due until Halloween. How appropriate. But as we are still social distancing and waiting to come out of the pandemic, this would be a good family night thing to do. Is just come up with the scenario together and get it done. And who knows, you might win. If nothing else, you'll beat your case of the boredoms with doing something unique and different. So it's almost like a free game where you can end up winning $2,000. I definitely would encourage folks to try this one out, especially if you're into zombies. Now, I'm just going to go back on me for now, okay? Here's another one, a $10,000 scholarship, points scholarship. And these here, you do want to click into, so you'll see scholarshippoints.com will give away more than $100,000 in scholarships this year, including this $10,000 scholarship. So maybe you don't win the $10,000 scholarship, but there are a ton of mini scholarships that they're going to give away. So many organizations will say, hey, we're going to give away $100,000 like this one. We'll give away one $10,000 award, and then all the rest will be $1,000, right? Or some will be $5,000, some will be $2,500. That way they can give more people money. Please apply for these, right? And what often happens all the time, if you talk to these scholarship folks, is they say, hey, we put it out there, and then everyone thought, well, it looks so good, everyone else had to have applied for it. So then they don't bother submitting the scholarship, and they have money that just goes unused and gets pushed into the next year. Please, please, I implore you to do this, okay? Now, to go back on me, this is really important.